I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
We just came from seeing Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Starring Alicia Vikander, Daniel Wu, and Walter Goggins.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 6. Strong. He's probably gonna give it less than that.
For me, I go off of 5s. For me, it would be like around 2 out of 5.
Whoa, sit down. Sit down.
She's bullying me, y'all.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
Yeah.
lean in. Lean in.
I think she's talking to you.
Further. So you can hear us.
I'm see pimples. I think they can hear you.
Okay, good.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Not
so
you.
we just came from seeing Tomb Raider. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. It felt way too long. And it was like 2 different movies in one. 2 different movies in one. The first part was totally like, who cares? Like, sis, who cares? The second part, where she was like actually doing the rating of the tomb, that was cool.
It did pick up, yeah.
Tell the folks what you think.
Yeah, okay. For me, the problem is it had the potential to be something at least, not totally a beat for the games, but at least be an entertaining adaptation of those stories. The problem is they take 2 of the stories from the games and just mash it all together to the point where it's an incoherent mess, because you have different tones going at the same time. You have something that's more comedic and adventurous, and the next thing you know, it wants to be dark, serious, and dramatic, and it doesn't settle for either one.
Right, I think that the film,
Yeah.
I think it's just another case of a film that wants to be more and wants to speak more to things that it shouldn't. I just think it's like,
And the problem is,
I just think it's being more than what it should be. And I don't know, I think it took itself too seriously.
I think if you're a fan of the video games, you're going to be very severely disappointed and infuriated with what they did with the story, particularly with the rebooted one. They've seemed to changed it and warped it to the point where I think they totally missed the point of what made that story engaging, compelling, and exciting to go through in the game.
This is my first Periscope, so I'm sorry for the technical difficulties.
Someone asked, was it better or worse than Jolie's version?
It's about the same,
For
actually.
me, it's worse.
It's
I'm sorry, I have to say it to the people. It's worse because at least Jolie's didn't take itself too seriously, and it was indicative of what those games were, which was very fun, silly, and over the top. Whereas this one does take itself too seriously, but at the same time, it doesn't even try to go for the supernatural elements.
I think movies have to stop grounding themselves in reality and all of this stuff, because I mean, we go to the movies because we don't want to be bothered with reality. So I think that is some of the
walk through right now.
I think personally,
Because they're asking
the
for
film,
tickets the other way.
Recording.
I think it's fine
That's not the exit. This is the
that I think they're about the same. Angelina Jolie's version and this version. I just
Yeah.
think that this one had better production quality, probably more money.
Sorta.
Sort of, but maybe more money. There are things I did like about it. Like, I like Alicia Vikander. I like the
Likewise.
fact that they, I like,
Bro.
you I was gonna say, let him, I don't know why he won't just go over there and say it,
Yeah.
but whatever. I think Alicia Vikander is really good and could be like a very, she could be like an action star.
Yeah.
I like the fact that her body was sculpted in such a way that it was not ashamed to show that a woman has muscles. And I was really, I really like that. I like that she didn't have any love relationships, nothing like that, that she was just a woman on a mission.
But at the same time, her character just seems to come across as ineffectual, and it's not a fault on Alicia Vikander part. It's just the way the character was written. See, the way the game goes about it, you get a sense of where the character grows into this Tomb Raider that everyone knows and loves, whereas this, it just kind of throws you into it with the character, and you don't really get a sense of her growth. And that was like one of the more infuriating parts of the film, is that you don't get a sense that this character ever grows from each of the encounters she goes through, and each of the moments where she's dealing with all the dramatic elements with her father, and then of course dealing with having to find him, but more importantly, the mystery surrounding this particular supernatural threat. Not giving any spoilers on that one, but yeah, pretty much. The problem is, I think she is totally committed to the role. She gives a very committed performance, but it's in service of a very lackluster, thin character.
I think the movie's too long.
Literally.
It's 2 hours, but it feels like longer. And I think that was also indicative of them starting too far back and not starting ahead. Like, it should have started in a certain place as we could see her progression as a Tomb Raider, but it started somewhere else, and it was like a bunch of stuff that wasn't needed at all.
And FYI, you don't get to the title until like 3/4 of the way into the film.
Exactly. Like,
Literally.
Someone commented, so it's not her acting, it's the writing?
It's the
It's the
writing,
writing.
big time.
it's the writing. Her acting is
for
fine.
all the characters.
She's fine.
She killed it.
She killed it. Like,
Yeah.
I give her props.
She did.
She killed it.
Look out for her back.
But I mean, she looked great.
Major props to her in terms of her
Commitment to the role and really trying to give fans something that they want to see. I just don't. I didn't think it was great, and I really hope that it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, we made the movie for fans. Like, I'm so sick of hearing that shit. Like, I'm a movie critic and I am a fan.
Which I have a feeling they're going to use that excuse.
That doesn't
for
usurp
this
a
particular game.
bad movie. If a movie's
For this
bad, it's
particular
fucking
film.
bad.
Yeah, someone commented that the London bike scene was unnecessarily too long.
Way too long.
It gave me flashbacks for Premium Rush, and for all you 80s guys and gals out there, Quicksilver.
Yeah, it was
Literally.
Way too, like,
But basically, yeah. pretty
that whole,
much.
like, the fight scene, like, spoilers, the fight scene at the beginning should have been in Hong Kong. And
True.
it should have been like this. They could have really started there. And she could have been like, hey, I'm on a mission to find my father. I found these things, and I'm here in Hong Kong, and this is the start of the mission.
And they had the template to really get the story going from the games. But the thing is, they decided, no, we got to find a way to combine both of those stories that are so cool into one, and it just comes across
And
as
we
a
have these
mess.
supernatural elements, but we're going to take those out. We're going to ground the story.
True. Because we need to give a face to the villain, so we're going to use this other villain, the Trinity from the second game, instead of basically what was haunting and, more importantly, driving the story in the first game, which is the supernatural element.
Do I think, I guess the big thing is it the best video game to movie adaptation?
For me, flat out, no. I think it's about on par with some of the more misguided productions right now.
It's better than Assassin's Creed, if you want to know.
It's at least somewhat better than Assassin's Creed. I mean, if you want reassurance, then there's that, particularly with the action and I would say with the performances not feeling sleep-inducing like in Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Someone commented, people really love the newest game. Would those people be super disappointed in the movie? Question mark.
Yes.
I
They
haven't
would
played the
be
game, but he
super
knows more.
disappointed. Especially the first game. They totally butchered the first game story big time. And I only know this because I do remember all the basic to main beats of that storyline, and they changed it so much that you might as well actually, quite frankly, it's like a mix between those two games, and for some reason the third act becomes the first Uncharted game. Particularly that supernatural element. I was like, what? Is that how you're dealing with that? Oh, screw that.
Well, just to wrap it up, what I do want to say is
Yeah.
form your own opinion. You don't have to listen to us.
True.
If you live in New York City, you might want to save $16.50. And I think that what I would like to do is, no matter if films like this are good or bad or indifferent, whatever I feel, I do like to financially support it, because regardless of the way I feel about it, I do want to see more of these films, and I want to see them get better. But they can't get better if I don't put my money where my mouth is.
It's a double-edged sword with that particular viewpoint. I feel like ultimately, yes, it is great to see a female action hero for sure, someone who can handle the physicality and the presence. It has to be in service of a good film, and this is straight up not a good film. I feel like it's a below average generic knockoff of an Indiana Jones film, and believe me, if you ever see the film, you will definitely get what I mean when I say Indiana Jones knockoff.
And see, there's nothing wrong with knockoffs. There's nothing wrong with copying.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with genre. It's just a film
true.
has to know what it is, and it has to do it well. I
has
don't
to be
mind seeing,
confident about it.
I don't mind seeing repeats of things that are predictable, because the film was
Sure.
predictable from the first 10 minutes. I knew everything that was going to happen. It just has to be done well. And I think that this is a film that, for me personally, is on the border of indifference and something watchable. But with that, it's late. It's Wednesday, and I'm taking off. Thank you very much. Thank you to Gerard for recording. And my name is Valerie Complex. You can find me on Twitter at Valerie Complex and on Instagram at Valerie_Complex. And you can also find me on Rotten Tomatoes.
And you can find me, Vincent Sang, on Instagram, in the Moment 47, Twitter, Review Machine, and I do have a blog through Google called The Review Roll, where you can check out all my long-form reviews of new movies from old and new.
All right, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.